says no, they didn't cause inflation. And then when it went down, people go, wait a second, I've been lied to by the media. And then they just started buying, buying the market. It's very interesting the different way you have to look at news in today's environment versus, 20 years ago. And I think most people that listen to news, I mean, I'm talking about news coming out of the traditional, they were very good, I guess, financial reporting companies, but they just all really have turned a little sour. So what I do, quite honestly, no matter what the news is, I take it, look at where the market was trading, and then judge the news based on what the market's telling me, not what somebody else is saying. And I think I've been very fortunate to be able to do that because I've been around long enough to know that what really matters is not what we think or what somebody else thinks. It's what the market thinks. And the market has that way of showing you through the numbers. And this morning when the news came out, it was clearly a very positive report for the market to climb like it did. It went all the way to 60, 75 almost.
Yeah, 60, 74.75, yes.
Yeah, I just rounded up, Chuck. I know you like to be exact, but I did round it up a quarter of a point.
That works. It works.
But, when you see that and you say to yourself, that was a huge move, And then, of course, I think the surprise is going to come. This is what I think. I've been thinking about the surprise. Where's the surprise going to come? I almost think that these numbers keep coming out like this, you're going to get a surprise rate cut. That's what I think. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me someday if Powell wakes up and says, not only did I miss inflation, not only did I screw this up, screw that up, here's my chance. I'm going to do a surprise rate cut, and nobody will be expecting it. And the market
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Tom. I don't know about a surprise rate cut, especially not next week. I think we're going to be stand pat next week. But of course, we do have the quarterly projections, and those I think are going to surprise people. I think the projections are where it's at.
Explain that to everybody, Chuck.
Well, with the FOMC, you get 8 meetings a year. And in 4 of those meetings, you're getting quarterly projections. And the quarterly projections tell traders and economists around the world what the FOMC is thinking about doing. Now, we've got an idea of what they're thinking about doing from not the meeting before, but the one before that. So every other meeting, we get the quarterly projections. We'll get these ones in June. We had some in March. And then, of course, throughout the quarters. So there's this dot plot graph which tells us what the FOMC members are thinking about doing. And that can change. A lot of people look at it in December and say, well, this is what it's going to be all year. And then they get surprised by it a little bit in March because it's different, because the FOMC allows for a change based on economic circumstances. And we're going to see the same thing coming up in June next week. People are going to be looking for the differences between the June economic forecast and the March economic forecast. And then there are going to be a lot of people who are surprised that there are differences. But the reality is, Tom, the economy changes week to week, much less quarter to quarter. So, yes, the projections are going to change.
Yeah, and I think what Chuck's alluding to is the fact that it's what people project, and you don't know. Here's the problem with all that. They're projections.
Yep.
I mean, if you go back and look at earnings announcements, you look at projections, you look at the way they cut it really is something to behold, because most of those projections, as Chuck's just talking about, are nowhere close to reality, because like he said, it's a moving target with the economy. A lot of things can happen. I mean, I've always said this year my whole scenario is based on the fact that this big bill goes through Congress and signed into law. If that happens, then I think Kevin Hassett has got it right. I think the second half of the year, we're going to be close to 4% growth, which is unheard of if you take the last 4 or 5 years. So I think that's where the stocks will mark themselves up. And that's why I've been telling everybody, we get the big bill passed about the third week of July. I think this market's going to start on a path that chimpanzee can throw those darts, and we just got to get behind those darts and make some money. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So, but we'll be open. Hey, I can say all that, but if the market's making new lows on a weekly basis or below its monthly open or below its 3-day low, I'll be short. I trade what the market does. And, and Chuck knows that to be true over the years. We listen to the market at DTI. We trade what we see. And, you can have these scenarios and think of things, but reality sometimes sets in. You buy something that goes down, you buy something that goes down. Eventually, you start selling something and taking some profits when it's going down. Those are the kind of things that you got to learn, is be able to put things in perspective. But Chuck, I'm sorry you hadn't had good weather there in Mobile. The weather's been it's been pretty good here. We had a nice day today, and I'm traveling to Birmingham, Alabama tomorrow, and so I think that it'd be nice to revisit Alabama, but not the Alabama I know, but the Alabama that my son lives at. We're going up to visit him. But the bottom line is, we got PPI tomorrow morning. That's the time you wait and see what the market reacts, whichever way it goes. But if you'd told me, Chuck, if somebody, here, I'm going to ask you this question. You're a math wizard, even though you're an English major. Notice I said that because he is a math wizard. But if somebody told you that in May, they were 92% accurate on about 40, I think 41, 42 trades, and then they told you, hey, they followed it up. They got 19 straight winners here in June. Just add those together, you're at 60, and then you got 3 losses in there. So 60, you got 57 winners. What would you say if you knew somebody like that?
I would say if you're at a 60 trades, 57 winners, and I mean that looks pretty good. That's a pretty good number, right?
I can't get great, Chuck. I can't get a great. Anyway.
Well, you know me. I want to know other things, and I'm sure the chat would tell me. So those of you in the chat who've been following along, has it been profitable? Like, percentages are great, percentages are wonderful, but has it worked? And we're getting not pretty good. It's fantastic. We're getting listen and pay attention. We're getting, what else are we getting? What do you guys say in the chat room about this? You guys have been following along in those trades. Tell us what you think. It must be T-Buzz. That's coming out of Edwin. I think he knows where the stats are coming from.
That's right. He, Edwin's been going on about 15 years. Jeremy said he hadn't had a loss since joining the T-Buzz group. Great returns as well. It's getting better and better, Marge says, with the tools. I love reading this stuff. Don't you, Chuck?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want your testimonials, they're right there. They're the people in this room who come to see you every Wednesday night and several times throughout the week. They're the ones that are going to tell you how great you're doing, because obviously they keep showing up.
Yeah, I know. But even I am taken back by those numbers. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, little break, because I want to get through PPI. I've got the weekend side hustle. We got the new gig there going. And, if I tell you I got a new gig, there's a reason there's a new gig. in the weekend side hustle because I think we got 10 straight weeks of profit there. And I mean, this one will be, but I think that we really have an opportunity. And I call this the warm-up stage for the second half of the year. I've said that all year long, okay? And Jeremy says he loves the 24-hour view and he loves getting that pivot every morning. Yep, that pivot's how I do it. Today, somebody was saying, well, why did the market sell off? I don't know, but I know one thing. Once it broke my pivot number, which was 60.45, I started saying to myself, wait a second, what's going on? Why are we breaking the pivot this late in the day? Well, Genesis was negative, RB4 was negative, and we went down. And then it stopped, I think, at 6,005. And then the market recovered, went back up to about 35, and then spent the rest of the session going back and forth. So anyway, let's get into the slides. I'm talking about weekend side hustle tonight. I'm very proud to bring this in front of you tonight because I think that this is another way that we're going to take advantage of it. And so let's get through the presentation. Chuck, enjoyed the discussion, and I know that tomorrow's PPI will be ready. And if you're in TNT, if I see something good when I wake up in the morning, we'll trade it. So that's just the way it is. So any last thoughts, Chuck, before I get started?
No, but I think you nailed it on the head when you mentioned earlier with news. The best way to figure out what the news means for the market is to pay attention to the market.
Right. So all right, so here we are. There's a high degree of risk involved in trading. We try to reduce that risk through good strategies, good risk control, but past performance is not indicative of future results. Folks that are new, I'm a former Air Force officer. I use both a strategic view and a tactical view approaching the markets. I'm an active trader, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I have 3 books, Winning the Day Trading Game, Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. A book that's getting a lot of attention is my Markets Never Sleep. Over 20 years ago, I was fortunate to know about the 24-hour market, and now Wall Street is starting to trade the 24-hour market with their stocks. And if you trade stocks, just a little note here, everything you trade up to 8 o'clock at night on stocks counts for that day. After 8 o'clock, it goes into tomorrow. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's the rule they're operating under. So where futures starts at 6 for the next day, they're always first, right? But stocks at 8 o'clock at night is into tomorrow's business. So that's just the time and how they work it, okay? I work with a lot of traders over the years, very proud. A lot of them become my friends, and I know that this is a hard game. I always tell people it's a hard game, but it's not one that the average Joe out there can't learn if he, puts his nose to the grindstone. If you hang around me long enough, you'll hear me talk about what I call the trading process and what works and what doesn't. In my opinion, if you listen and learn, you will earn. Upcoming futures classes, I have the July 14th and 15th, the October 4th and 5th, August 4th and 5th, futures class September 22nd, 23rd. I have October 6th and 7th, advanced class at October the 13th and 14th, and the futures class December 8th and 9th. Okay? Sawgrass 2026 is scheduled for May 31st, June the 2nd. We have 28 of 35 in-person seats available. There's the price if you want to join, $9.97 for dtitrader.com/Sawgrass. It's an experience, I think, of a lifetime to be there in person. This last one was a perfect hand, I call it. We don't see many of those, but we had 10 great trades and pretty good stuff. Roadmap to the Markets has an asking price of $300. Whoa, word's getting out. Seven Sisters update, E-minis up 1.2, we're positive for the year. NASDAQ's up 2.77, positive for the year. Dow's on the bubble. DAX up almost 20%, gold's up 28%, crude is down 4.5%, and bonds are down 0.47. My 10 tickers. How many people love the 10 tickers program that I post on Sunday night? How many people like the fact that I give you the best 10 stocks starting out the week each and every week? I give you the prices, they mean something you can take advantage of. Well, I've got another change to what we're doing here at DTI. In T-Buzz, Talk and Trade now, I'm going to pick out the tickers that we name and come up with an option strategy for people during a week when the odds are in our favor. And so you got that to look forward to in my 24-hour room called T-Buzz Talk and Trade. 24 hours, I'm looking at this stuff, and when they set up, I take advantage of it. That's a big plus for something I only charge $200 a month for, okay? A big plus right there that we did that. And I wanted to do it because I just got tired of seeing 3 and 5 of these tickers going off, and I know a lot of people wasn't making those trades. I said, why don't I do the following? Why don't I add actual option application to these tickers during the week? So that's what's in T-Buzz Talk and Trade now, okay? That's a big change. I'm not raising the price. I'm gonna say yet, but I think that you ought to get in there and be a member and do it. The Weekend Profits Club. This is a change that we made, took some time to get it done. We've been rocking and rolling now for 10 weeks with this new strategy, and the strategy, people love it. Service is dedicated to targeting extra income over the weekends thanks to that special perk created by the CBOE just months ago. The average gain using a $5,000 stake is $1,592 in extra income. Each weekend there's an opportunity. We've been bringing it out this week. I don't know how many spots are left, but for us to talk about it tonight, we got a few you can get on. Whether you're investing for years or just getting started. The Weekend Profits income alerts every single week. I'll give you my best opportunity. It'll happen Thursday or Friday before Friday's close. We'll make it happen on what we're going to do. One I personally recommend to anybody that wants to follow along. That's up to 52 weekend opportunities every year. Each one is based on the method that the study shows has averaged $1,592 on average every weekend there's a setup. I hold nothing back. I train on this. I'll show you how it works. With each Weekend Profits Club alert, I break it down for you step by step. Leave nothing to doubt what we're doing. The ticker, when to place to trade, the options criteria, where to get in, where to get out. It's all in there. Each income alert will have clear instructions on how to place the trade. The work is finding the timing, the entry and the exit. I do all that. Just read each alert, follow along if you choose. Look what happened on May the 8th, just recently. Sent out an alert to everybody, said it's time to go. We got in, taking the trade. You would have spent your weekend maybe doing something else, not even worrying about it. Then come back, practice a little pickleball. You'd have made $2,522 on a $5,000 stake. Now, if you don't feel like you need to be sitting next to a computer all day long, this is the program for you. All you got to remember is one key thing. Write this down. You have to enter this trade before Friday's close. I'll post a trade sometime at Thursday when it sets up around noon. You got plenty of time to get in before the weekend hits. Experience the Weekend Profits Club to be as hands-free as possible. You put in the trade, the option trade you put in, you put your target in, and you got your time that you're going to exit based on my 72-hour rule. And then the next weekend rolls around, May 15th. Here it comes again. You got the email. That's very simple. Take the trade if you choose. Hey, I'm going to take this trade. I'm going to put X dollars down. This is what I should expect to make. 22.22 on that one. Extra cash from that weekend. This adds up by being consistent. It adds up by doing it the same way every week. These two trades alone would have generated $4,745 after 2 weeks. Now, who doesn't want to be part of that? Imagine what you could do with an extra $4,745. Maybe pay off some debt, help out your kids or grandkids. Maybe start planning your next vacation. Great choices to have when the market generates money. Huge burden for folks right now, we know, because they're worried about running out of money. And based on everything that goes on, you need to be worried about it. You need to plan. That's that. Every one include a very big piece to your membership. Listen to this. Special tax benefits on the ticker I use. Specifically set these options up to include that tax benefit when they set up. You don't get that tax benefit with the SPY, QQQ, and Apple and others, but on this one you do. All you need is a standard brokerage account, an internet connection, a few minutes to set the trade before the weekend, and that very special report, Your Money Matters, tells you how it works. The brokerage firm does the calculation. You don't have to pay an accountant to do this. Your brokerage firm gives you a statement and shows the exempt securities and the lower tax you pay on those profits. Don't worry. Inside that report, you'll see the ways you're entitled to save money, come tax save, give it to your CPA, teach him something. So instead of paying that big fat check and a lot of your money going to the government, you keep more of your hard-earned pocket money in your pocket. As I've told you, the Weekend Profits Club is probably like nothing else you ever experienced. I haven't until I built it in my entire career. I love this trade. 4,745 in 2 weekends, right there. Don't you want a piece of that? This isn't like missing out on Amazon in 1999. These opportunities just happen. And that's just 2 trades. Remember the Weekend Profits Club, you'll be getting up to 50 more during the week. So you might be wondering, will the new membership cost $47.45 per year? I believe it's worth that, especially on the results it's been able to generate. But I want to highlight one of the biggest benefits to being a member of the Weekend Profits Club. Something else, Weekend Profits Club to a whole new level. Where we normally target extra income over the weekend. Sometimes, if the trade goes on Thursday, you're able to take it off on Friday. I like those. It's so good that we get paid before the weekend even hits. Those are the days you go into the weekend with a big smile and extra cash in your pocket. Total game changer. That's what happened on March 6th. As a member, you've received a trade alert on Thursday around noon, opening of the window, and sure enough, by Friday morning, the trade hit. Hey, if it hits the numbers, we take the profits. 2,500 on that one. Now, anyone out there would love to hit in the week on that extra 25? Hey, type a yes in the chat room. Here's another special bonus. The early payday exit plan, the briefing on how it works, what to look for, and how to know it's coming. That way you set the trade, walk away, let it go ding, ding, ding. There you go. We work very hard to make this membership really special. Students absolutely love it. They come in there. and they love the materials, the training that we do as we educate you about from one week to the next. Here's a couple top stories from some DTI's various trainings in the past. Ed said, easy to follow the entry and exit signals. Nothing's hard about it. The benefit is more than the trading success. The program has given him confidence that he can rely on his own trade and make a living and do it. Yep, it sets up once you learn this process. Or Kenneth P. said that he likes the way I teach. I'm easy to follow, and he's 110% a member for life, VIP. We have remarkable stories, and regardless of how good the research for you, not every trade is going to work out. You remember, it's one of the next 10,000. Never risk more on that you can afford to lose on any single trade. You can take these trades for as small as $100, and that's okay if you want to start small, scale it over time. One day, if you follow the procedures, you will be trading with $1 million using this, because the trainings and the understanding the process is the key. Learn it. Getting the hang of these straightforward weekend profit club opportunities. You start small, scale it over time. Doesn't matter who you are, young or old, been trading for 10 years or just a few months, you're invited to join me tonight. Trades coming in the next 48 hours, the Weekend Profits Club. There's 4 examples right there. That's based on a $5,000 stake in each trade. $93.63 on those 4, okay? That puts a lot of value on this membership. That's why tonight's the night to join. For new members today, it's not going to run you anything close to that. We discounted it way down to unlock the potential. I bet the spots will be gone after tonight. Don't pay the $5, don't pay the $3,500, don't pay. Go through the website, $24.97. Here it comes. You get the even better deal by being here live with me. All the data, everything's included, and you will be a member of the Weekend Profits Club starting tonight going into tomorrow. You go through a couple classes, you'll be ready to go when I deliver the entry, the exit, and the target on this week's. In fact, look at that, what you would generate over that course of time. It makes this a real special membership, doesn't it? All the trade examples, winning and losing weekends in there. $39,794 on those trades. That already gets your attention. Keep in mind, in the same time frame, S&P didn't have to go up, it didn't have to go down. We trade what we see. On the right-hand side, it's using the Weekend Profits Club. On the left-hand side, what you'd have made in the market. Not even close, is it? It's a no-brainer. Doesn't even come close. Let me be very clear. If you hope to become an overnight millionaire, this is not for you. This is a grind, week by week. You want to gamble on risky stocks, this isn't for you. This is a solid stock, good liquidity, one that gives you special tax advantages, and one that I will show you how to play that song of victory. That's why we're not going to charge those high prices tonight. Here's the final bonus. Program at $24.97, well worth it. But guess what, folks? Tonight, you can come in here and be part of it. No reason to stop. Be part of it. My goal is to see students pay off their membership fee as soon as possible. And by reducing this price down this way, the setup's in place. Like old Bob from Cutler Bay, paid it off in 2 weeks. Or Whitney, she got extra $500 in the first week. Now, if you're watching now, with the lower price, you got a faster time to do it. Get there even faster. The Weekend Profits Club Founders Discount. If you take action in this webinar tonight, it won't be the $24.97. I don't know why it's not, but we're going to cut it down to a bone. We're going to cut half of it off. That's right, 50% discount tonight to fill up the spots. $15.92, get involved. Just think about that. It averages $15.92 in weekend income on average setup. So when you join today, right here, right now, you get complete access to the all new Weekend Profits Club for $15.92 for founding members. Limited time special. Notice we put a limit out there on this price. All spots will fill up, ready to take action, put it to work for you in the next 48 hours. No time like the present. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC. Challenge has been made. Call 904-706-3532. Click the link in the chat. Get joined. Got a little special surprise for people in there. dtitrader.com/WPC. Starting right now, you have the opportunity to kickstart your very own weekend side hustle. Everybody needs this side hustle. It's great because it's coming in. When will the first weekend opportunity be? Guess when? Only the founder meters would know. Founding members will know. Now, we can't promise future gains, like what happened on March 13th. Get you in box about noon on that Thursday. Plenty of time to get in before the weekend. Another winner of $1,105. So you can't delay because that window opens tomorrow. 1,100. Don't miss out on your first weekend income opportunity. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC or call 904-706-3532. Now, we got some top love letters that came in over the years from people that work with me, sort of give you a feel for what I would do, like Whitney, paid off for cost of subscription. Jim, total $2,000, start the month. 3,200 by Ken. These are good numbers, folks. The manual says I keep things simple. Those are some of the best stories, but I love the next one. Kenneth says, I'm an excellent coach, trainer, or trader, easy to follow. He's a member for life. That's VIP. Don't miss out on your first weekend income opportunity. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC. Take one of the founding memberships. Don't close this page. You're given a special chance to upgrade it. You'll be upgraded to lifetime, so don't close that page. I highly recommend you do that. $15.92 with data like this, small account friendly, $15.92 average weekend payout based on that 5,000 outlay. It doesn't have to be that, but that's what it would be if you did it. And look at that success rate, 84% success rate with built-in risk management. Kickstart your weekend side hustle today. No later than tonight, get on board. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC. Remember, we're going after bonus premiums in the market based on what the CBOT did. Something you can't get any other day of the week. That's why you got to get in before Friday. Sidestep a lot of action placing this trade. Get paid all the days by using this technique. Don't beat your head against the wall. I've done that. Get that edge. Take about 30 minutes. I don't think it takes that long, but we're going to say 30 minutes to place the trade each week to get the bonus premiums. Have to be made before Friday's close. Take your closest friends out to dinner on Friday. Pick up the green fees, brunch. Sure enough, here comes Monday. There it is, $2,500. Love Mondays for this weekend side hustle. Special surprise, get started. Go back to whatever you've been doing after you make your trade, putting your full faith in the markets, economy, the government, hoping for the best, hoping that helps fill the massive hole in our pockets right now. It won't do it. Do better, something new. You got to change things. Start targeting weekend income this very week. I said less than 48 hours this trade will go out for this week. The choice is yours. So what will you do? Don't miss out on the first weekend income opportunity. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC. Now, if you got any questions, type it in the chat. Here's some common questions. How much money is needed? Again, you get the smallest amount of money you can lay out is $100, which means most cost less than $100 to get in. Will every trade be a winner? Of course not. No strategy wins 100% of the time. But according to our test, according to what we do, if you'll stick to what we teach and follow the process, you'll be well rewarded. Should I be worried about the downside of the market? Not with this. We can go either way. That's the beauty of it. The markets dictate which way we're going to go. Let's target some extra income together. Can it trade an IRA or 401k? Absolutely. It's retirement account friendly. What's this weekend's income trend? I told you, those that join are part of the weekend side hustle will get the trade as early as tomorrow, no later than Friday. Now that information will be shared with everybody. You'll have time to get in. Hey, you ought to be asking, how can I be part of this? Well, if you got any questions, you can call our number and get those questions answered. Or if you don't have any questions, then click that link, dtitrader.com/WPC. Adam just put it into the room. There it is, folks, the limited pricing. Do not delay. They will change this price on you. I promise you they will. Take it, take this huge discount. Go to dtitrader.com/WPC. 904-706-3532. I did it, folks. Let's get in here and do it. Pretty cool. Yeah, the maximum risk, Bob, depending, he's been a member for 2 years, the maximum risk that is the money you put up because it's defined risk. So you can define the risk at $100, $5,000, or $10,000. Jennifer said, chicken, fish, or steak, time to choose. Jennifer's one of our new students. I think you joined other night. Thank you, Jennifer. Here it is, folks. Let's make some music together. Gotta love this. You know, it took them, listen to this, it took them 2.5 months to rewrite the program, verify, do all that. We've been doing this strategy now for 10 straight weeks. So the existing weekend people already got to jump on you, okay? It works. All you have to do is a lot better strategy, I think, than we originally started with. And we made some alterations there. You're going to love it. Still get the tax benefits. So that got me fired up talking about the Weekend Profits Club. That will be one of the trades that I'm going to focus on over the next 2 days, next 48 hours. Anybody got any other questions for me before we go into the night? Adam, good job on doing the editing of that. Really good. Pretty good stuff. And Bob, thanks for being a member. I really appreciate that. Okay. Kathy, you have to have at least a $5,000 risk to get those results. So you have to cut it in half. You only risk 25. Now you're not going to lose that much. That's just it here. Always, Kathy. Always. Try it out. Kathy said, I'm in. I love it. Again, once you get access to the website, go look at some of the master classes I've held. And I can tell you, before Friday's close, I'll try to find us a good trade. That's all I can do. Eric, I don't know if it's the best broker for it. I use a couple of them. I use Schwab. I use Tradier for that one. Herman, I don't have the setup yet, but I tell you, 5 o'clock in the morning, if you want to get up with me, it might be one then. I told people if everything was set up, I might do a trade tonight in TNT, but I think I'm gonna wait till in the morning and let us get to Asia, put the odds in our favor. See how this market holds up overnight. My thoughts on the E-mini, Jennifer, stay out of it. Let's let it settle down. If today ends up being our high, okay, then we're going to roll over and test some of those lower prices. I don't know the answer. We got that big news tomorrow at 8:30. If you start taking out today's low, then you gotta hold your breath a little bit. It's very interesting. I don't have in my group of services, I don't have a lot of exposure out there. I think I got one outstanding trade left in all the services. One outstanding trade. And I'm pretty comfortable with that one. But right now, I've got things sort of on the sidelines, wait for my next. But I want to spend the weekend after I get through Friday. I want to spend the weekend doing my research. With the move that we've had this week, is everybody aware that we really have had a tremendous first 3 days? We're above our 3-day algo. That's 59.91 has been the top of that algo, and that's held all sell-offs up to this point. So you got to give it the benefit of the doubt. Let it work itself out. The sell-off this afternoon, breaking 60.45, put a little pressure on the market. That's okay. We've been here before. Where everybody else was telling you to go short, I was telling you to go long. Might ought to listen to me. Patience right now will pay. Everybody that's been with me a long time know when I say that, there's a reason. Patience will pay. Hands off the mouse right now. All right, y'all have a great night. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate everybody. See everybody on the flip side.